Okay, what's your name?
Michula Nunez.
How old are you?
41.
What was your first experience with the pole?
My first experience with the pole was dancing in a club.
You danced in a club. At what age?
I was 28.
For how long?
About a year or two.
What was the experience with the pole in there, in the club?
The pole, that was the best. The pole was, what is this? It was athletic and it was liberating, and with the music, it's art, it was a sport, and I wanted more.
What made you get out of there?
I got a normal job. I started teaching science, and so I became a professional
Teacher.
Yeah, professional teacher.
But you still were in touch with the pole or something?
I completely stopped, and over the radio, I heard that a lady had opened up a studio where she was teaching pole dancing a couple of miles from where I was teaching. So I called my husband and said, George, I know you don't want me dancing in a club anymore, but how would you feel if I was teaching it? He's all, yeah, that's great, that's a great idea. So we both went, had an appointment with her, and I was hired on the spot, and I started teaching it, and I gained skill. Because of my science teaching, I gained skill in being able to teach and the concepts and giving understanding to other people.
Okay.
And I was making it accessible. I was making the pole dancing accessible to others. And I started also teaching Pilates, spin classes, weight training, and that opened the door for teaching fitness classes, pole dancing classes, lap dancing classes, and in a setting where I was teaching adults. And it just, prior to that, I couldn't talk to adults because I was talking to kids all day long.
Yeah.
And I would get into a situation with adults, and I would just kind of shut down. I get really shy, and I wasn't confident in talking to adults. So with teaching the pole dancing and the other fitness classes, I got to know who I was as a person,
okay,
and what I was capable of, my strengths, my weaknesses, and so I realized, okay, I'm kind of over teaching the science. I think I would rather stick to the fitness classes. So I talked to my husband and I said, George, can I open up a studio? And he's all, Michael, I've been telling you that for 5 years.
5
years. It's like, and I never heard him. I never heard him tell me that I could. And it was only until I tore my Achilles training for a fitness competition, and all summer long I was still strength training, and I was missing the pole dancing, and we were far away. We were no longer in Huntington Beach. We were living in Forest Falls. It's really far. He's all, yeah, open up a studio right here. Yeah. So we did, and it's been 8 years, and my studio's growing. I love the students. And
you love to teach.
I love to teach. That's what it is. And giving them the understanding, giving them skill, they get excited, and seeing them grow and seeing them make friends and become someone that they didn't think they could become in terms of skill. Like 40-year-old women coming in and doing something that they never thought they could do, and they see that it's just...
What's the age range in your students?
My youngest student is 18. My oldest was 68, probably right now 62. And she's one of my most advanced students.
Really?
She's been with me since it opened, and she's stuck with me all these years.
Now, did you ever compete?
I tried competing. I would get so nervous, I would sabotage myself. And so when opportunities came to perform, I realized I embraced that more. I was able to enjoy and look into the audience and really enjoy that moment. But competitions, I got so, it was bad, and I hate that it was a bad experience for me. But I just stuck to the performing and the teaching.
Okay.
And then with the competitions, that's another thing. You know, back then it was all one age level. So I was competing against younger girls that were amazing, and I just didn't like that. It was harder. I'm old. It's harder. And then when they started making the different ages, by then I realized, okay, I just want to perform. So I perform, I judge, I teach, and I'm happy with that. I feel like I don't have to compete to prove myself. Does that make sense?
A lot.
Yeah. I've established myself, who I am, and I would rather teach instead of ta-da!
It's me.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
You don't like that?
Yeah, I don't.
At all?
I don't.
Okay.
It's about the students.
Okay. If there were 3 important points to open a studio, what would them be?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think about that. Being able to teach. It seems a few years ago, people would they started taking classes, I'm going to open up a studio, but they never taught anything in their life. My background is coaching gymnastics, is being a captain of a cross-country team, cross-country. Okay. So I've always been uplifting, you know what I mean? So you need to be able to teach. The studio's not about you, it's about the students. And let's see, a third point. Well, you gotta have some business sense. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to manage supplies, clientele, equipment. That sense needs to be there, okay. Right? You just can't run a business or it's gonna go down. You know, you're gonna run out of money.
Okay.
So let's review. I said being able to teach, knowing that the studio is not about you, it's about the students, and then some business sense.
Okay.
Right?
That's nice.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm impressed.
Okay, you have been able to see the improvement of your students.
Yeah.
Before the poll and after the poll.
Yes.
What would be the main fears of them when they show up and ask you for a free class or a...
Okay, yeah. The main fear, I think, is that other people are going to be better than them. And that scares a lot of girls, right? They're going to come in, they think, and it's so funny, the very first question that people ask, oh, how long have you been doing this? And they want to know, like, oh, so you're going to be better than me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have to have different levels of classes. Some studios still, it's sad, they bring all levels into a class for beginners, and that scares them. That scares the new ladies. So they're not going to come back. You know what I mean? So it's important to have different levels, and so that person can grow where they're at, and not out of fear, like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a fear when someone comes into the studio. Another studio is that I'm too fat, I don't look good in shorts, you know what I mean? That
it causes a shock about being trained in shorts and tops.
Yeah, it scares them. That definitely scares
even
them.
Even if it's between girls.
Realize, yes, of course. Girls are so competitive. Yeah, and they look up and down. You know what I mean? They do that. Girls are. But then they realize the functionality of having to wear shorts, and then they like, fuck it. I have to do this, and then they get past that. They actually get past that at one point. It might take a couple of weeks, might take a month or so, but they actually get past it, and so they start to embrace what they look like, and they're more focused on what they're doing in class. Not what they look like, they're focused on trying to learn.
Okay. How many years do you have in the pole industry?
I have 13.
13. In those 13 years, have you had, I don't know, obstacles?
In terms of being a business owner?
In general.
Okay.
Personally?
Okay.
In the studio, with your students, socially speaking, economically speaking, in general?
All of that. I've had all of those issues. When, oh my gosh. Okay. What are some of the issues I've seen? Okay, running the business is so hard. Doing the day-to-day operations, like back in 2000 in California, well, in the United States, there was a recession in 2009 and 2010, right? And many people lost their jobs, and my husband and I, we actually lost our home, and so that was a really, really hard time. And so my husband's working a lot of overtime, and that was hard. I also was pregnant a couple of times, and we lost the baby, so that was another really hard time. And my husband losing his father, that was a really hard time. And so, yeah, we've always had obstacles, but my husband, we're such a team. We're okay. You know what I mean? We still have the victory. We're together, and that's the best. That's the only thing that I can get through. Well, God, of course, and then my husband. That's number one.
One thing is the fear of the students, and another thing is what they can accomplish.
Okay.
What problems have you noticed in your students, and with the help of the poll, how did they beat them?
Oh, okay. So I've noticed at my studio, I have, recently, I have students that they're all friends via texting, on Facebook, and we have some girls that are going through some marital problems. We have some girls that are work problems, and because they come to the studio and we're open and we support one another, they actually get through those obstacles. And I don't want to say it's because of, it's just the coming together, and the female relationships get stronger, and they actually start caring, they start supporting one another in all facets of their life. And so it helps. It's just like this place where you can, and it's not just like, oh, I don't understand the dynamic, but what happens is absolutely amazing, and I get to see it and watch it happen, and I'm a part of that. So maybe the problem doesn't get solved there at the studio, but they're able to come, talk it out, and they feel better, and yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened in Mexico back when I met you?
Yeah.
What was, like 5 years, something?
Wasn't it 2010? It was the first Gravity, 2009 or 2010?
I don't remember, I think it's 9.
Okay.
But the thing is, I saw a lot of pole studios removing their signs of pole dance classes
Are you kidding?
exchange them for pole fitness classes.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
How was the pole evolution in America?
Well,
How's the prejudice? How's the taboo going out there?
there are different styles of pole dancing. There are different schools of thought, right? Simply only pole fitness, no exotic dancing, right? But I think that people are starting to embrace both styles at their studio. I have the girls that only come for the strength training, that's it. I have some girls that only come for the contemporary style class that we did today, only that. And then I have some girls that only want the sexy classes. So at my studio, I designate it by the name, sexy pole, simple lyrical pole, or simple pole, that's what I call it. Okay. Or pole one. So I give them that opportunity to come to what they want. I'm not going to be the guy that says, we're only doing this. You can only do that. But I let them choose that. And then sometimes they get curious about trying the lap dance, you know what I mean? And so, but I think they come to a place, they have to get a little comfortable, and then they get a little curious because the other girls are talking about it. Oh my God, that lap dance class was awesome, right? So they get a little curious, and they want to try it. And so I think, overall, I think the feeling for pole dancing is it's warm, it's embracing people. But also at the same time, it comes down to the teachers. Sometimes the teachers aren't confident in teaching the exotic dance style, so they only teach the pole fitness style.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you got some girls that only teach exotic dance and have no traditional classical dance background. So you got the people that can only teach what they can teach. You know, and that's okay, right?
That's fine.
I'm blessed that I can do both, and I bring it to my students, and they pick what they want, and they come to the classes that they want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to your origins.
Yes.
When you started at the pole, what your social circle thought of that? Your family, your friends?
They didn't know, of course not. Nadie saber, ¿sí? No one knew.
Okay.
Solamente mi esposo. I hope that was it. No, actually I think his family knew, but they were totally against it, of course, but no one else knew. It was a quiet thing, you know?
And then with the pole studio.
With the pole studio, I had to, story. When I was talking with my parents, when my parents and I were close, I was telling them, I only told them I was teaching Pilates and spin, okay? And then when I opened up my studio, I called my parents and I said, hey Mom and Dad, I'm not teaching science anymore. I decided to open a pole studio. And I said,
What?
I've been teaching pole dancing all this time. They said, oh, I think that's fabulous. So when I opened up my studio, my parents came, they saw it, and they're like, oh, this is great. I was like, I wish I told you guys that a long time ago instead of having to feel ashamed of it. But that was back in 2001, 2002. It was still very new, you know what I mean? But when I opened up my studio, it was 2006. So it was a little bit more, you know.
But are they open-minded? Are they, how's the religion? Are they religious?
They're very religious, but they accepted it. They recognized it, that it's good and that it's not dirty.
Okay.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that made me feel better. That made me feel better owning the studio. I didn't want to have to do it behind their back. Teaching it was okay, behind their back. But opening the studio, I want to say, this is what I do. This is who I am. I know that. So when they accepted that, this is awesome. It made me feel, it made me feel established as a business owner in the pole dance industry.
So you would encourage other people that want to do pole that be open with their family about it? Not.
That's a good question.
Not hiding at all? How do you deal with that?
I don't know. Gosh. I think once that person is able to come to terms with, I like pole dancing, I want to share it with others, gotta tread lightly who you share it with, but hopefully that family is accepting of it. Hopefully that's the best thing, it helps.
And if it doesn't?
If it doesn't, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Do you pursue your dreams, or you...
Right? Do you do that? Or do you try and make other people happy? Or do you make yourself happy? That's a great question. And I think everyone's still trying to do that in the world today. Do I make others happy, or do I make myself happy? Do I follow the will of God that's set for my life? Or, you know what I mean? That everyone has to do that in their life. Don't ask, I don't know.
You got lucky. You are the voice of a lot of girls. A lot of girls look after you, watch your videos. The minute they know that you're gonna be in their country.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I don't know. Okay. Well, you have to fucking work out. Just kidding. I'm always striving to learn more. I don't think I've ever reached. I got this one trick. I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to get that next trick. I'm always striving to better myself, always striving to improve, and I do that in multiple different ways, not just the pole. At my studio, I have jazz, ballet, burlesque. I bring all these classes in, so it helps me grow as an instructor, because I'm learning from my instructors too, you know what I mean? So, and then that helps me bring that into the pole dance classes. So I don't, it's inspiration. So I never...
You hate comfort zones.
What?
You hate comfort zones.
Yeah, no comfort zones. But at the same time, I never cease to be, yes, that's awesome. I inspire others. I'm humbled by that greatly. But I seek inspiration too. And I seek it in other forms of fitness, other styles of dance. And I don't think I've ever reached, you know, this, I'm always want more. I want more. I want more for my students. I want more for my studio in terms of so that they learn more.
Okay, a big question for you.
You've been giving me shitloads of big questions.
What is pole for you?
Okay. In one word, vida. Pole is life. For me.
Yeah.
It's absolutely my entire life. I can't sleep at night because I'm thinking about tricks. I can't wait to get to the studio, to try a new routine, to come up with a routine to travel and bring to others. And talking pole on Facebook with everybody and watching other videos. I don't know what I would do without it. I honestly don't know what I would do without pole. I don't think I would be the person spiritually, mentally, physically without the pole. I don't know where I would be. If I never took that leap to open my studio and just still keep teaching the kids, it'd be good, but I don't think I'd be this happy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's my answer. That's my answer.
Nice. Okay, I guess a final answer, a final question. All these years in the pole industry, there has been a main taboo. That is, oh, you do pole for sport?
Yeah, right?
You're a table dancer.
Hmm?
You're a stripper.
Yeah.
Or you're a table dancer. I don't know what it's called. Several years has passed.
Yeah.
And somehow we managed to
kind of
twist that
it's
thing.
okay. Like on Facebook, you see social media. I think has been a major breakthrough for the pole dance industry. People share their videos. People share their pictures of pole dancing. Their friends see it. So I think through social media, it's become a little bit more acceptable. And people are like, fuck it, I pole dance. Doesn't mean I'm a stripper, but I pole dance. I enjoy it. So, you know what I mean? It's like your political view. I like Obama. So what? You know, I don't like him. You know what I mean? People are getting comfortable with saying, this is what I do. And I think the social media has helped bring people to a point where they are okay saying, hey, I'm going to my pole dance class. You know? Never before, like 10 years ago, I don't think people would be doing that. They'd be like, hey, I'm gonna go to pole dance class. But now it's like, it's open.
Any last words?
I love you, Marco. So glad seeing you again after all these years. And I'm appreciative of the fact that you see that people have a story and that it's a genuine good story that should be shared. And it's not bad, it's good, and it's to help others. So I thank you for that and your photography. Yes, come to my studio, please.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you for this.
Ven bien siempre.
Thank you.
Okay.